Hi, I'm Dr. Shauna Daru, owner at Daru Wellness, and today I'm speaking with Barbara Poczyniak, who is our brand new therapist at Daru Wellness, and she is a registered acupuncturist and RVGO therapist. I'd like to speak mostly about RVGO therapy today because I'm sure a lot of people watching won't already know what that is. So can you tell me what is RVGO therapy?
Sure. RVGO therapy is a therapy based on the techniques developed by Dr. Arvigo. It's abdominal massage. It's a series of techniques that are based somewhat on the Maya abdominal uterine massage. So it's a traditional healing remedy of midwives and healers in Central America. It's an external massage that's done on the front, on the abdomen, and also a sequence of techniques on the lower back, the sacral area, and around the tailbone. The idea, sort of at the core of this therapy, is that it's meant to help restore the flow. So the vital flows of blood flow to the organs, to the area, of lymph, and also of energy, or qi in Chinese medicine. So once these flows are restored, the body's brought back into balance, into homeostasis, and the organ systems can start to function again in the way they're meant to.
Great. So how did you get interested in RVGO therapy?
Well, I am an acupuncturist first, so when I first started working in acupuncture, my focus was always women's health, which a lot of the time it means reproductive health, fertility issues. A lot of the acupuncture points for a lot of those issues are, we treat the abdomen. So very, very important key points are in that area. I started to think, what else is there? You know, what other therapies look at the abdomen? And I came across RVGO. I was interested in it. I always investigate everything. I'm, big investigator on myself first, and not everything impresses me, but RVGO really did. And it was very actually surprising because it's a very subtle therapy. It's not complicated. It's quite simple, but it really does have a very profound effect, and it goes along very nicely with other therapies, including acupuncture. So I decided to study at the RVGO Institute, and now I offer it alongside acupuncture.
Fantastic. So I understand you work a lot with fertility, so tell me what your approach is there.
Sure. I like to think of fertility in the way Chinese medicine's philosophy, and also other sort of traditional medicines, including the Mayan healing traditions, that fertility is really, it's a part of a woman's life throughout her life. Sometimes in the Western sort of modern view, we think of fertility only when we have to, when something's not working, or if it's a bit reactive. It's not always positive, right, to fix something. But in sort of the ancient tradition, it's always a part of a woman's life. It's her emotional health is determined by her fertility, her physical health, from being a teenager through young adulthood, through motherhood, and even into menopause. And this was actually really what impresses me about Chinese medicine, is that everything is seen as equal. There isn't one part of life that's sort of less desirable. So every part is meant to be cherished, nourished, supported, and that's what I try to put forward in my philosophy.
Beautiful, great. And can you tell me how RVGO therapy and acupuncture could help with endometriosis and PCOS? So these are common conditions that we see a lot of women with here.
Sure. So both of those conditions, one of the sort of issues is that there's a lot of congestion potentially, whether it's adhesions or cysts, or even for some women fibroids, a lot of things not moving in this area. RVGO, again, very gently, is physically able to sort of, we're massaging that area, freeing up the flow, regulating the flow of blood, of lymph, which actually helps to, as you know, helps clean out toxins and the waste products from our body. And also I find, I may not be the first person that someone with endometriosis seeks out. Often that's a condition where you might have already been to, your doctor, you might already be doing things like a different type of diet. But apart from surgery itself, there isn't much that's actually physically done. Like a lot of the time, the massage itself is very gentle, and it's something that works alongside other therapies very well.
Right.
It actually helps other therapies be more effective, if you're able to absorb the nutrients and lymph is flowing. one other aspect that I really think is important for this type of issue is the RVGO concept of self-care.
Right.
Which, during a treatment, we have the treatment itself during the professional session where the massage is done, and then at the end of it we leave time for me to show the patient how to do a little mini massage on themselves. It's a very simple version of the professional treatment, but it's something that, instead of having all these things done to you every time you go to a clinic or to an office, this is something that you can do at home yourself.
Right.
And it's nice. It's a nurturing type of self-care therapy that prolongs sort of the time in between treatments.
Right.
So that's also something that, for that type of issue can really help.
Of course. Well, I just love the thought of self-care as well.
Yes, yeah.
And it's the way it's framed.
Yeah, and it's not a chore. I mean, it's
Yes.
something that, you can a couple times a week, every night, or I usually find if someone is doing it regularly, they get better results in the end, faster.
Great. And what are some other conditions that you commonly work with?
Sure. So usually, well, as expected, when I started thinking about RVGO and acupuncture together, it does apply itself very well to fertility concerns. So whether women are trying to conceive naturally and sort of, prepare their bodies for getting pregnant, or working, towards IVF, it's a very good natural way to support the body and prepare for IVF as well. I actually see also a lot of good feedback from patients who have digestive disorders that are related rather to stress disorders. So it could be said that anything's related to stress, but specifically for digestion, a lot of it really is. And that type of massage in that area, along with the self-care, is really for digestion, but as well as for emotions. So it's really kind of calming and soothing, and something that someone can, really use on their own when needed. So also
great.
That.
So in a session, how do you integrate acupuncture and RVGO therapy together?
Sure. Well, RVGO is actually a standardized treatment. So in theory, one should be able to go to any RVGO practitioner, worldwide, and get the same series of techniques. However, everyone has a different modality that they also try to incorporate with RVGO. So the first time someone comes for RVGO, I actually propose that they just get RVGO, just to see what it can do, because on its own, it is quite a powerful treatment on its own. However, we can also incorporate acupressure or acupuncture in that session, or sometimes depending on what the goal is and what where the person's at, I recommend alternating. So RVGO one time, acupuncture another time, depending on where we're trying to get to.
Fantastic. Thank you so much. I appreciate the time to talk with you, and I learned a lot more about RVGO than I knew before.
Thank you.
Thanks.